YouTube, my name is Chris, aka Coco Bunny, and this is my first YouTube video. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do this for a long time and I'm just gonna go for it. So, in celebration of my first YouTube video, I'm going to do a few first time of things or first things that I remember having and stuff like that. So, I have this little book, Believe You Can and You're Halfway There by Theodore Roosevelt. I got this book from a girl I used to work with at the airport named Brittany. And this is basically my YouTube idea book. So there's a lot of stuff in here. And I'm going to try to upload on a schedule. And yeah, I'm just ready to do this. So welcome to the Bunny Den. So let's get right into it. My first car. My first car was a 2002 Dodge Neon. I put a picture right here of what it looks like. I don't have a picture of the actual car, and it was given to me by my aunt because my uncle was getting deployed to Afghanistan. So he was getting ready to leave, and I was like, so what y'all gonna do with that car though? And they talked about it, and then a few days later they were like, we'll let you have the car, but you need to make sure before you drive it out of the driveway, you get the title in your name, you get some insurance, and maintenance like oil change and stuff like that. So yeah, that was that. And it was like my sophomore year of college. I didn't get my driver's license until I was 19, 18, 19, my freshman year of college. And so I got it over the summer. That next couple of weeks, I took the car with me to school. And it only lasted at school for one semester because I ended up getting I don't want to say in trouble, but some things happened and I wasn't working anymore. And my mom was like, well, since you're not working, how you gonna pay for insurance and whatnot? So she told me to leave it at home. And that was that. And then that next summer, I was at home and she let me drive it around when I was at home. And my stepdad crashed it, like totaled it out. And after that, that was just it. I'm not going to get into that right now. Number 2, my first trip out of America. My first trip out of America was to Ecuador. It was so much fun. Even to this day, that has been the best trip I've been on outside of being at home. Like, we went to, and when I say we, I mean me and my girlfriend. We went to this small town called Montanilla. We went there to take our Celta, and we stayed there for 5 weeks. And we kind of stayed on I want to say a compound where we had cabanas, and we had 3 meals a day. And we were doing a course. It was like a study abroad type of thing. And it was great. The drinks were great. The atmosphere was great. The people were great. It was just all great. So, yeah. Maybe one day, or I'll come back later and do a story time with my girlfriend about our trip to Ecuador and some lost footage, because I have pictures and videos of us being out on the beach and all this kind of stuff that we haven't posted yet. So, yeah, if I can put those together. Also, along with that, that's why I got my first stitches. I tried to cover it up a little bit, but if you can see right here, I have a little slit, it look like a little slit. I was running, trying to hurry up and turn in my lesson plan, and I was coming around the corner when she comes, and I slipped and fell. I was running. I admit I was running, but I slipped and fell, and bust my head right open. That was the first time I had to go to, I went to an Ecuadorian hospital. Like, it was like, it was like this big open room, and then they had like cots. And I kid you not, I sat there for like, it was quick because it wasn't that many people there. And I mean, it's a small town, like a mile long, so it ain't that many people in the hospital all day long. So, I'm sitting there with a wet towel over my head, and the like person that was kind of like our, I guess he was our liaison or whatever you want to call it, was sitting there with me. He kept like saying, "Let me see," and he was like, "Oh God, cover it back up." And I'm like, I never looked at it. Like, even when I hit the ground, I jumped back up and I was like, I need to go. And then I just felt like my face started feeling wet. And I was like, I'm bleeding. But I was still trying to go turn in my assignment. And here comes Unique, my girlfriend. And she's like, Chris, your head is bust open. Like, the white meat is showing. You need to sit down and put something over it. And is your head hurting? Do you feel lightheaded? Are you seeing spots? Hello. And I'm like, I'm fine. I need to go turn in my assignment. I only got 10 more minutes. And my instructor was like, oh no, you need to sit down. She was like, don't worry about it, or somebody else can do it for you. Just sit down, because it was open. And I went to the hospital, back to the hospital, and I sat on one of the little table things, and the lady was like, do you feel any pain? I'm like, only when you touch it. But when you don't touch it, I don't feel nothing. I'm still thinking about turning in my assignment. And so she comes with this little jug. It looked like a extra large water jug, and it looked like it had some cleaning solution. And I'm like, bitch, I'm like, girl, what you about to do with that? And basically, it was like some cleaning stuff for cuts. It didn't really smell like anything that I can remember, but she kind of cleaned it up, and then she did like one long stitch, and then she put gauze and taped it up. And this was my first lesson ever teaching in life. I was like, I'm still going to teach my lesson because I got Unique to turn in my paper. And I said, I'm still going to teach my lesson, so let's get this over with. So we went back to the Casa Cacique. And I taught my 20-minute lesson with this big white pad. Let me show y'all what it looked like. I got a little napkin right here. I taught my first English lesson looking like this. Hello, my name is Kristen. And I was like, but I was a G about it. I got in front of the classroom. I was like, good afternoon. Before we get started, yes, there's a patch on my head. I fell and I bust my head open. I had to get a long stitch. Okay, now let's get right into the lesson. I wasn't playing no games, but my first time actually living abroad away from home. Right now, I live in Shenzhen, China. And girl, China is a moment of silence, okay? China is different. I feel like I'm on another planet. Like, every time I go outside, I'm like, I'm in China. Why? What was I thinking? Like, I'm not saying it in a completely bad way, but China is an acquiring taste. I'm going to say that. It's an acquiring taste. And if you ain't built for it and you ain't ready, then don't do it. Because I'll talk about that in a separate video about my view of China. But I also try to do that video with Unique. Or you can go see on Unique Travels. When we first got here, she made a video about our first initial review of China. But I teach ESL at Sheatley Primary School. And I teach 3rd grade and 5th graders. And it is a challenge. So, yeah. living abroad. It's cool. We've gotten to go to a lot of places in Asia, and we go to Hong Kong quite a lot. But China is China, literally China, just China. And the last thing I have is my first fashion show. And I'm a couple of years ago, like 2012, I believe, I put together my own fashion show. I went to school for fashion design, and I love clothes. I love all the visuals of putting yourself together, okay? I don't do it all the time because I don't have time. But, I mean, the most I do for my face is put on some little eyeliner, a little bit of mascara, and a little lip color. I got this here in China for my birthday. It's like a dark burgundy looking color. That's what I have on. So, I mean, I'm very simple, but when it comes to my clothes, I like color, I like shape, I like form, and I love fashion. So I did my first fashion show at the Atrium in Stone Mountain, and I really was in love with the idea of Rip the Runway. So I got some live performers because my stepdad works with some musicians and stuff, and I have a couple of friends that are musicians. They didn't come through, but whatever. And I designed like 2 collections. I did like a classic black and white collection with some hints of browns and golds. And I did a it was called Kaleidoscope of Fashion because the color patterns that I used were all kind of like mismatched. And it was a great experience. I would love to do it again. The only thing was I felt like my team were too close for comfort. Like, I wish I would have kind of worked outside of my family a little bit more. And I kind of I didn't fully boss up on them. Like, this is what I'm expecting you to do, and this is what you need to do. And by this day, I need to see this, that, and the third. Or if you're going to perform on a stage for free, I'm not making you pay to get on my stage that I paid for. Then you need to sell some tickets to make, a quota or something like that. That's lesson learned. But I was really like, I wanted to help people in the arts community because sometimes you don't see fashion as art or music as art, but it really takes an artist to come up with a idea. Like, painting is not the only kind of art. You're just copying a picture or a place or something. Whereas kind of like music, you're taking a cluster of words and put them together to form a song that gives someone some kind of emotion. Whether you want them to turn up or you want them to, uplift them or whatever, is music. And fashion is more like, as far as art, it's like expression. Like, when you put your clothes on, basically that's how you feel that day. If you put on all black today, you like, I don't want to be bothered, I got stuff to do, maybe. Or if you put on some colors, you like, I want to be seen, honey. I want you to see me when I'm coming and when I walk away. Or if you just, you get extra fancy, you like, I'm feeling myself. So, to me, fashion is an art of expression, and music is the same. So I want to put them together, and they collided. So the kaleidoscope of fashion. Got it? You got it? Okay. But I want to do a part 2 of my Kaleidoscope of Fashion because I really enjoyed it. My friends, my models were great. I love you guys for doing that for me, and I appreciate it. My dollhouse dolls, girl, thank you. But yeah, those are all my first, and I really have fun doing this. And you're going to see a lot more of me, and this is only the beginning.